In the days when myths were real, the world was ruled by Greek gods and the god of lightning named Zeus as their king. The worship of humans was the source of power to the gods and these entities. Zeus, the king of Olympus, organized a tournament for the gods to kill the boredom of being immortal. Every god is to bring in an avatar to represent himself. A fight will be held between the avatars and a reward will be given to both god and avatar that wins. Centuries later, Recieves, the god of speed, had chosen an avatar. They won the tournament and the avatar requested to be a god. Zeus agreed to this proposal under the condition if he can make the whole world acknowledge him as a god. The avatar as a result asked Recieves for help. Recieves knew what was in the heart of his avatar as they are connected. The avatar plans to get enormous power and enslave the gods of Olympus to become the sole god of the world. Hermes then devised a plan to get another champion to eradicate his first avatar. As gods are not allowed to interfere in the affairs of humans. Years later, a man, Gary, working as a private investigator, is seen on site. He investigates the death of his friend named Dan as he is seen in by a power plant. The rain starts to fall but Gary refuses to end the investigation. The security guard sees him and asks him to leave the place. Gary refuses to leave as he wants to find what killed his friend. Gary shows resistance and the security guard calls two of his friends. They try to scare Gary away when he fights. The first person attacks, as Gary uses his hat to cover the face of the attacker. He throws kicks at the remaining two as the guards are knocked out unconscious. He then attacks the jaw of the last security guard as he falls to the ground. Gary puts the three in a good location and he continues his investigation. Just then, the metal used to make the power plant electrocutes Gary. The thunder in the sky also strikes Gary as it hits him to the ground. He wakes up in the middle of the night as he strives hard to leave the place. He manages to get to his car and drives away. He wakes up in the morning and leaves for work. He sees civilians running in his direction as he is confused. He raises his head and sees a wormhole in the sky. A man with a shiny armor comes to him. He tells him that he had been chosen to wear the mantle of the Flash. Gary is confused because he almost died yesterday and now this. Gary thinks he is hallucinating because of the lightning strike before. The man stops him using telekinesis and introduces himself as Hermes, the god of speed. He says that Gary has been chosen by him to be his champion. He further says that his previous champion has gone rampant and is causing a catastrophe to make himself powerful. Just then, a human with an enormous speed comes to them wanting to kill Gary. Hermes uses his power to take himself and Gary away. They are seen in a different dimension. Gary says that Hermes's issue has nothing to do with him but he proves him wrong. He says that Gary's friend named Dan was supposed to be his previous champion but the guy that attacked them earlier had killed him. Gary gets mad as lightning starts to come out of his body. He asks Hermes about it and he tells him that he has the power of speed. He also says that time slows down for Gary when he activates his speed. 1 week in Hermes dimension is 1 hour in the original world. He then leaves Gary alone in the dimension to train and evolve his power to be able to fight the speedster named Doom. Gary trains like never before for months in the dimension. Whilst Gary is training, a crack was caused in the dimension causing Doom to come in. Gary tells himself that he had been preparing for this moment for a long time. Both speedsters activate their speed as Doom moves towards Gary. Gary finds it hard to see the movements of Doom but is able to predict the attacks using his fighting perception. Doom speeds up as he grabs holds of Gary's neck. He runs really fast and Hermes comes to the dimension. Doom opens the portal to Earth as he takes both of them through it. Hermes, who isn't supposed to interfere with the affair of man, is seen chasing after the duo. Hermes becomes slow as Gary is surprised. Doom speeds up and we see them gone in a flash. Doom slams Gary to the ground as we see him bouncing on the cars. Doom takes Gary and runs to the northern part of the world. He throws Gary to hit the ice mountains as they break into pieces. The broken ice fall on Gary as his heart stops beating. Doom manages to bring Gary out as he tries to add Gary's power to his. He sees Gary dead as he says, "What a waste." It seems that Doom cannot add the power of a dead entity to his because it has been tainted. Doom runs away as he leaves the place. We see lightning come out of Gary's body and his heart starts beating. He gets up panting as he swears revenge on Doom. Like and subscribe for the next part of this video.